It's all about the teamwork. It's all about the helping nature. It's all about somewhere emotional balancing. We should teach them how to, maintain it, how to make it balanced, which is very, very required.
One thing about you, which many people do not know.
I'm simply complicated.
Simply complicated, two drastic opposite words, and you have used it together. That's really complicated now. No matter your current circumstances, if you can imagine something better for yourself, you can create it. Hello, everyone. I'm Seema Chhoriya, and I welcome you all to another insightful conversation on great principles. Joining me in conversation is my very determined educator of the day, Dr. Nirmala Neetu. She's principal of Bhartiyam School, Delhi. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. We are very honored to have you with us.
Good evening, everyone. And I feel myself honored to come on this platform and talk to you about it. It's nice praising. Thank you for calling me and giving me such opportunity to talk about.
And we are equally excited, ma'am, to unveil your journey and take a lot of insights from you to all my dear viewers. Get set to a very insightful episode on great principles today. So here we would like to start with your once upon a time journey. What inspired you to start your career in education sector? And over this period, what do you think has become your vision for your students?
From the beginning, I see my mother as a teacher because my mother was a teacher. So it was the first, spark which inspired me a lot to come into this line. And I am from a very small town of state of, India. It's Uttarakhand. So during my schooling, I found there was many things which, neglected, you can say neglected, or I can say somewhere not grasped by me properly, which was, supposed. Then I thought, whatever I have missed in my childhood, I'll need to give it to my, the coming generation. This can be a part of serving to the society also, because as a human being, it is our responsibility. So somewhere early it was a kind of, you can say, just a kind of, touch of to join a school only. Then later on it comes in my patience, and it just worked as a, a kind of blood fluoridation into myself. So I have seen my mother to how she taught the students, and I have seen my teachers, those who have missed that special concept which is taught by my mother. So I found a difference, right? I'm not saying they were not a good teacher; they were very good teacher, but a difference the way my mother was teaching to me and the concept my teachers was teaching. I found a kind of differences in that. So I want to try like to fulfill that kind of differences, because in a small town you cannot get good teachers also. So it was somewhere missing things which I want to fulfill in my kind of students. This inspired me, and my mother used to give free of tuition also. So that also inspired me. Somewhere we need to give a good cause to, to survive, or somewhere need to help to the society.
Very rightly said, ma'am, because when you give flowers to someone, the fragrance of the flowers remains in your hands too. So it's a beautiful thought that you have thought of, that what you couldn't get, or somewhere because of not quality education, you missed on few achievements in your journey. You don't want it to happen to your student. So moving ahead to my next question, ma'am, I would like to know from you, as you described that during your wood time, there were certain things which were neglected, but today we are preparing the children for the future which no one has seen. There are challenges which we are not even aware of. A pandemic was one such example. We were not aware and it came without giving any notice. So how do we prepare our children, and what skills should we give them so that they can survive in the changing world of work? How should we prepare for them for the unforeseen future?
See, pandemic is the best example to, know that there is uncertainty always, right? Now the education system has been changed a lot also. if we talk about the things, then I would added it that it has upgraded also. So early we don't had such informative resources, while right now we are having, we are connected right now directly with the student, maybe whether they are going to physically to the school or not, but we were connected with the students. So personally what I feel that this pandemic taught us how to be face the problems which can come anytime, right? So for my vision about the student, that we have to make them ready to accept the challenges, to cope up with the things, and this what a pandemic taught us.
Absolutely. So when you prepare the children to fight, when you prepare them to learn and go ahead, that is when you have won the battle. And this is what we need, right? We need to prepare our children to fight whatever come to their way and win and reach their final destination. So beautiful thought here again. And now we have reached to the rapid fire round. So here I'll be asking you some fun, fast-paced questions, and you have to answer me in just one word or a sentence would do. So for the rapid fire round, my very first question to you is, what Nirmala ma'am is doing when she's not working?
Mhm. I enjoy my child company.
Okay, so you love to spend your time with your child. All right.
Yeah.
If you could change one thing in our current education system, what you would change?
Remove notebook.
Remove notebooks.
Remove notebooks.
Notebooks. All right. So ma'am don't want children to take notes. Wonderful. All right. Moving ahead to my next question. Are you a movie buff? Do you like watching movies?
Yes.
Which is your favorite movie?
Okay. It's kuch kuch hota hai.
Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. Yes. Wonderful movie, certainly. And again, on students' life. So moving ahead to my next question. Do you think that at school level, we should also teach children about how to deal with heartaches, how to deal with emotional sufferings? Many a times we have divorced parents, single parent, children have these days, they have crush and they get shattered easily. So do you think that school should have sessions on emotional well-being too?
Yes, ma'am. I personally refer it, because see, I'm not saying, and even we cannot control. If we think we say that we should control in such age where we are in adolescent period and all, we should control our feeling. It's something rubbish. But what I want, we should teach them how to maintain it, how to make it balanced, which is very very required.
Certainly, very beautifully answered. Coming ahead to my next question. An educationist you look upon for your inspiration?
My Hindi teacher,
Your Hindi teacher. Wonderful. All right.
Mr. Vikram Singh, he inspired me a lot. The first person in my life from where I learned that how to handle the student, because we are normally handling the student, but how to handle a special student or a child, I learned from him only.
All right. Wonderful. So, sir is your source of inspiration. Moving ahead to my next question. One thing about you which many people do not know.
I'm simply complicated.
Simply complicated. Two drastic opposite words, and you have used it together. That's really complicated now. Wonderful. So, moving ahead to my next question. A book that you would recommend for our viewers to read.
I would like to tell student to learn biography of Swami Vivekananda.
All right, wonderful. A truly inspirational book, The Man Whose Visionary Thoughts Even Prevail in Today's World. So, moving ahead to the last question in this segment. What are the other activities that you do which keep you active and rejuvenate you also?
I write poems, I dance, and I love driving. I go for a long drive myself alone only. I don't require even company.
I think even I do that very often. That is the best way to just reconnect with yourself. So, yes. So, you mentioned that you write poems. So, can we have a golden opportunity to hear one of the poem or few lines of your poem?
Yeah, sure. Shall it share? It's something related to the love and deepness.
That's okay, ma'am. That doesn't matter. You can.
समंदर नहीं मैं, पर नदी हूँ बहुत कुछ लिए हुए. समंदर नहीं, पर नदी हूँ मैं बहुत कुछ लिए हुए. मेरी गहराइयों को मत देखना मेरे आवरण से, कि मैं जिए जा रही हूँ बहुत कुछ जिए.
Wow, that's really deep, beautiful thought, and this is being written by ma'am. So, to my dear viewers, as you can see, we have a multifaceted personality here. She's a dancer. She is a poet. She loves driving, and she is a family person. She gives equal time to her child, and she spends as much time she can. So it was wonderful to know you in our rapid fire round. Now we have reached to the last question of the show, that is called expert talk question. So, ma'am, these days many schools are heading towards their first terminal examination. So I would like to know from you, why do we say our students "Pad lo beta, kal exam hai"? Why can't we say that study because you will learn something new? Prepare, evaluate, we evaluate so that we can understand whether you have understood the concept or not. So, what would be your advice to our teachers, to our parents, and also for our students to not to take examination as a fear, or rather take it as an opportunity to showcase what we have learned?
Ma'am, see, what I feel that we always take an examination as a kind of evaluation, right? Actually, examination is a process of revision, right? Where we analyze what we have learned rather than what marks we are getting. But maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say it's anyone's fault. It's now, it is a trend of the society, it is a need of the society. We are pressurizing our child to get the name, to get the marks only, because recognition of the school as well as the family is from the marks of the student only, marks of the child. So we should not from the beginning of our childhood, we read a story that about a tortoise and about a hare. So slow and steady wins the race. So we should be moved to the continuously progressiveness, which is very, very required. Now what we are doing, we are just running after the marks, we are running after the grades, and we are pressurizing our child also. Being a teacher, I am pressurizing, because what I feel, my result is totally depends on marks, right? While instead of this marking, we should understand that we should not train our children, we should give them kind of education. While we talk about education, we talk about multi development, where it comes like in a physical growth also, emotional growth also, social fulfillment of social need also, because we have many responsibilities which we need to be fulfilled, right? And being a student, it is the right age where we learn about the futuristic things and the problem need to be faced. So our child should be, when we talk about education, a child should be not that who has got 90% marks while having tuitions, while having AC in her or his room. A student, I'm okay with that student also, who's getting 60 plus after helping his or her mother, helping the society and understanding the need without knowing the tuition. If he or she is very, very clear about the concept, because rather than giving them training, we should give them some kind of education. Is this education is based on the intellectuality. It's all about the teamwork, it's all about the helping nature, it's all about somewhere emotional balancing, how to handle the stress also. But as a parents, as a teacher, even as a principal, we are forcing them for going that stage only from where we have to make him pull out. So this is what I feel should be removed. We should not judge them, because we cannot judge.
Very rightly said, ma'am. It is all about judging. We are judgmental everywhere. And this is what we are teaching our kids also. Even our children have become judgmental. They easily pass on the comment on anyone without even knowing the background.
Yes,
so this is what education is all about. To clear the clutter from your mind, to guide you in the right direction. And when you undergo an examination, you understand whether the concept that was taught to you have been understood by you or not. Though there could be a different approaches to examination. Some students cannot retrieve the information, but they can very well apply it in practical. So I think what needs to be changed in the needs to be changed from educators' point of view or from schools' point of view is the method of evaluating. Maybe we need to judge where student is good at. If the student is good at just communicating and he cannot write it in the same given time pace, then that space should be given. I think this is what is the world all about now. We all are changing, and this change is also expected in our examination pattern. Now let's see where this conversation can add in some light to this kind of pattern. So it was Neetu ma'am with us today, Nirmala Neetu ma'am today. She discussed some of the valuable aspects of examination, of education, about her journey. It was completely thoughtful conversation today. So thank you so much for your time, ma'am. We thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. And my viewers, thank you so much. We'll see you again on Great Principles.
Thank you so much.